welcome to Align with Ariana. I am Ariana, of course, your favorite psychic medium. I am able to go beyond the veil of life and death to connect with spirits that are sometimes nice and sometimes not so much. Now, my content could be very real and very true, so enter at your own risk. So this Tell My Story will be about Nick Gordon. As you guys recalled, I did a previous recording with Bobbi Kristina, and she informed me a lot of the things that were going on with Nick. So play that back towards the end of this recording, where you're able to go back and listen to some of the things that she talked about, even talking about what will happen to him soon. So this is not really a surprise to me that Nick Gordon is no longer here with us, because I did connect. Bobbi Kristina did inform me that some things would be happening as it relates to Nick Gordon, and it's a possibility that he would not be here in a very short amount of time. Well, news has broke that he is no longer here, so I am going to connect with his spirit to see if there's anything that he would like to say in this process and in this time. So you guys, Nick Gordon is here with me. While I'm connecting with his spirit, he is very saddened and he's very cold. His energy is very cold or shut off. The reason why is because he felt like after the process, when he passed away, he'll be able to instantly connect with Bobbi Kristina, and he has not found his way to her. I am picking up on that he's in some type of discomfort because he is not able to connect with her in the way that he thought that he would be able to connect with her in the afterlife. The reason is because Nick has a lot of personal or karmic debt that he has to pay. And what's very saddening about this situation is because he is a soul, he's an individual, and this was a loss. He was someone's son, and there were people that loved him very dearly. What I am picking up on his soul is that he has a lot of things to go back and review for his life. So he had a couple of instances that caused him to have outbreaks. The outbreaks that you were seeing after Bobbi Kristina had passed away was him trying to heal, or him trying to move through the pain and the hurt that he had. He even connected with a relationship to try to move on, but all of the things that he tried to do, there was many blockages. The reason why is because he has this karmic debt that he has to pay. The karmic debt that I am picking up on is, number one, he had some regret about Bobbi Kristina. He was not happy about a few things as to her leaving, and he is saying that he feels responsible. He feels totally responsible for her leaving the way that she did. Now, there have been no reports to confirm that he was guilty in this situation. His soul feels like there's uneasiness about Bobbi Kristina in the way that she left. He does feel guilty. He's telling me that his experience is that he tried to look past it or move on from what happened, but he was not able to. He is also connecting and saying that a lot of the usage of abuse or things that were connected to alcohol and substances, they were related to him in the way he feels like he has brought these things about to her. He's also saying that he's a really good person, but no one ever really understood him or knew him. He was always viewed as someone that was very weird or very different because he was known as the stepbrother or son that was taken in that dated his sister. He's saying that him and Bobbi Kristina had a relationship way before it was known to the public. They had a relationship when they were much younger, and he also feels like this was more like an arranged type of thing, that the relationship that I'm picking up was on some type of arrangement or some type of gathering or meeting. They both agreed to take on this relationship. They both agreed to move forward in this relationship. He's now saying that Bobbi Kristina's dad has what he wants. He has what he wants. So he says that he feels like he was at a disadvantage because he knew that Bobbi Kristina's dad did not appreciate him or did not like him. So he's saying that he feels like Bobby Brown now has some type of justice or something now that his presence is no longer here. And he's saying that he was very confused. He said that he had a relationship or he tried to have a relationship with his mother, but she walked out of his life as he did with her at a very young age. And he said that he was possibly around the age of 8, in between the age of 8 to 12. It was very uneasy with their relationship, that it was not, he keeps saying the number 8. That is the beginning part, when he said that he felt discontentment in the relationship with his mother, and his brokenness, he said, came from his relationship with his father. His father was not connected to him in the way that he wanted. He's saying that he felt like he was just disciplined in a way that he shouldn't be, and he felt like there was a lot of verbal abuse and possibly some type of physical abuse that could have taken place. Now I want to remind you, this is all the things that he is connecting and telling me from the spiritual realm that I'm able to pick up on. He's also saying that he moved as quickly as he could away from his mother, or tried to get away as quickly as he could from his family, is because he felt like there was unequal treatment and he really needed help. He's saying that his journey was all about learning how to let go and release people. So he's saying that he feels like he was misunderstood a lot. He also is confessing. He wants to confess a few things that he's talking about that are on his heart, that are very heavy. He has a few things that he wants to talk about. Number one, he's mentioning something about some medication that he possibly were on, because he did have very intense dreams and very intense visions of what took place with Whitney and what took place with Bobbi. He is saying that he wants to talk about a couple of things. He's saying that he has, or he was somehow connected to both of their missings. The reason why his soul wants to talk about this and confess is because he's saying that he can't do this anymore. He's had a lot of visions, a lot of images, and it was very hard for him. He had very intense nightmares where he would literally wake up in a sweat, breaking down from these visions and images that he had. He was not able to communicate that to anyone because he did not trust anyone. He said that he feels that he let Bobbi Kristina down, and he let literally he let her down, which he means he lets the entire love that they built everything on down, because he feels like he betrayed them. He's saying a lot of things that came up. He's saying that he feels that he was very much a part of it, and he is not able to confess every detail because he's saying that it's some things that he shouldn't talk about. But he was saying that it was a couple of instances that he arranged for paparazzi or people to take pictures to be at certain locations to film things or get things that they were not supposed to get. He's saying that he was responsible for a lot of that information. He's saying that he was responsible for a few of the outlandish things that came from Whitney. The reason why he's saying that he was responsible is because he's saying he had directly had a connection with a drug use as it relates to Whitney and Bobbi. And he's saying that it is very possible, you guys, that he was their go-to person as it relates to a connection with some type of substance. Now, he is not telling me that none of this has been confirmed. I am just connecting with spirit. He is also saying that he tried to commit suicide 3 times, or 3 to 4 times after Bobbi Kristina had passed. He's saying that he tried to do something as it relates to a hanging, and he's saying that this connection about how he passed away has a lot to do with a particular prescription and a particular drug use. I'm also seeing something as it relates to his arm or his veins, you guys, some type of arms or veins. And I'm seeing that he was really trying to come to terms with a lot of things that he was battling in his mind. A lot of people didn't know this, but he was battling a lot of things in his mind, and he tried to come about and overcome these things, but these were challenges that were way bigger than him. I'm also seeing he stayed in a house, but he literally had out-of-body experiences at night, you guys. He had experienced, like what he's telling me, like ghosts and very intense death spirits that were surrounding him because he had so much guilt and some things that he was not really truly happy about, that he could not stay alone in his own home. And oftentimes he's saying that he would keep it very dark because he felt like no one would understand him. And he was literally, at some points of the night, what he's telling me is that he was talking or communicating with the spirits because they were the only one that could ease his pain. And he was staying up at night. Like literally his house was like pitch black majority of the time. It was not a lot of light. He didn't go out to a lot of places. If he did go out, it was socially to do something socially as far as drinking he's talking about, but it was mostly like something really quick for a social thing. But he had another personality from what he's telling me. He's explaining himself as Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, that it was he had deep, dark emotions and feelings that surrounded him, and he was not the person that a lot of people thought that he was. He's also saying that this time around he was able to do it. So I'm not sure if he's talking about the suicide, because he did mention that he tried to commit suicide 3 to 4 times, at least 4 times prior to this. But he was saying that this was the final and he couldn't take it. He's saying that he doesn't want to look back on this dimension anymore because this dimension is over. He doesn't want to connect with the physical dimension. He wants to still try to meet his way and find his way to Bobbi Kristina. He's just not able to connect with her. She's at a completely different place than he is. They are not at the same place. And he's really trying to move past a lot of things that he feels guilty about or that he was working towards. But there's so many obstacles in his way that I pray his spirit can find his way to the light. Also, he's saying that how he wishes that he can connect with possibly a little sister. And I'm not sure if he had a little sister, but he's talking about a connection with possibly a little sister. He is saying that he hopes that many people could change their ideas and their thoughts about him, but he's saying that he had a deep, dark sense of spirit about him that brought him so many challenges, you guys. He battled in his mind every single day, and he's saying this is who he was, and he tried. He's also saying that a lot of people, he didn't get a lot of support, the support that he thought he would get as it relates to him leaving the earth, having some type of memorial, he mentioned, or having some type of going away celebration, saying that he wasn't surprised by it. He just knew it was coming. But he wanted more people to come and support him, but a lot of people just didn't support him in the way that he thought that he would. And he said it's disheartening, but he understands. So his spirit is still trying to find his way and make his way through. And his last final words was that he is still trying to escape the horror and the things that he feels in his mental space and his emotional and spiritual space. So I pray that he is able to do that, to come out in a better situation, and I pray that he will be able to work towards any type of karma or anything that he feels like that is necessary for his evolution. I want to thank you guys for aligning